Hello, today I'm going to teach you how to strap your own ankle after an inversion sprain. It's appropriate for straight after the sprain when you're trying to look after the ankle. It's very vulnerable that it's going to happen again, or also to play sports. Okay, so we're going to use a combi pack of Leucotape P. As far as I'm concerned, it's the best tape on the market for staying on and doing the job that it's supposed to. You're going to need a decent pair of scissors. So we're going to take the Fixumil first, which is a layer to protect the skin a little bit, but also to give you a good surface to stick on. Now, if you're lucky like me that you've got a new pack to start with, then it's not going to be too curly, but if you're right at the end of the roll, this is going to curl up very tightly and start sticking to itself. I want you to measure just around the ankle, about this point. Come around, mark it with your thumb, and then you're going to cut through here. So that's just going to be a bit of an anchor point to stick everything to. If you've got very curly tape, then folding it a couple of times here just helps it to stay in line. Peel one side off, peel the other side, and then we're just going to lay this around the ankle here. Just lay it on, nothing tight, because we don't want to restrict any of the blood supply to the foot and ankle there. That's your anchor there. And then we're going to take another piece for a heel stirrup. So we want to go there again, measure how far you need it to go, cut through, fold it if you need to, like I say, a couple of times along, peel one bit off, hold it out so it's not going to stick to anything, peel another bit off, and then we're just going to put that underneath the heel there. One bit goes up one side, the other bit up the other side. Now this is just laying on, this isn't the tape that's going to be doing anything specific. And then we're just going to we're going to do another stirrup around the foot. It isn't essential that this is on the skin underneath the brown tape that we're going to use next, but it does give you a nice little layer to stick on, so it doesn't matter if the brown tape goes onto the skin in any way. Lay this around. So you've got a stirrup around the foot. Again, that shouldn't be tight. When they put the foot down to the floor, it's very important the foot can spread a little bit and not be restricted by the tape. So that's just laid on. And then we're just going to do one a little bit higher up, just to try and give you a good layer to stick on. So one bit off, the other bit. And then we're just going to come around here. So what you basically want is a nice little sock almost around the foot here, and one layer to stick on there. All right, so we're coming on to the brown tape. Zinc oxide is good enough, the white version, but I've always stuck to this throughout my career so far. So sometimes it can be quite hard to pull off the roll. This one, we're going to start off with the stirrup. Again, around, we're going to measure it on the back, the non-sticky side, measure it around on the back, and then you can either tear it. The Leucotape is quite easy to tear with the nails. Just use the nails and come along and tear there, or you can cut it if you'd like to. It can be a little bit sticky, sticking to itself. Again, just lay that layer around. Ideally, you want a little bit of a gap in between, so you can move a little bit. Again, we're not applying any particular pressure with that yet. And then we're going to have the bottom stirrup around the bottom of the foot. Again, use the nails to tear or use the scissors to cut. Depends what you prefer. Again, lay this around the foot. Make sure that you can put a bit of weight down through it without it restricting the foot there. And now these are the bits that are actually going to protect the ankle a little bit. So again, measure on the back of the tape there. So we've got to come from the stirrup, from the anchor point to the other anchor point on the other side. Again, nice little tear there. And we're going to start on the inside. So if you start on the inside there, scratch a little bit with a nail, put a bit of a warm hand on it, because that's the point you're going to be pulling from. So you want that bit to be nice and solid. You're going to pull down to the bottom, pull across, Let the foot go a little bit floppy and allow it to be taken out that way a little bit, because it's this bit that we want to protect and coming up. Now you can see there I've made this a little bit short. We want to do another couple of layers anyway. So pull another piece off. Measure it again if you want to. Doesn't matter if you go a little bit too long, you can always tear it off a little bit. Hopefully this one's a better size. I can start a little bit lower down anyway, just in case. Come down underneath the heel. Slightly different trajectory if you want to, and then you'll cover all the bases. And then you're pulling up again there and sticking that down. Good stuff. Always good to get it nice and warmly stuck down. That's feeling like it's really nicely restricting that inversion movement, which is how you've injured it in the first place. I'll leave you to decide how many more layers you may or may not want to put on there. I'm feeling that that's lovely and restricted there to start with. So that's restricted the heel. The foot is a whole nother thing. So we don't want the foot to come round like that. So we're just going to take another piece. What we want to do with this one is start at the foot and come up and round and over the front of the ankle. Here. So again, we're going to start here. Going to scratch. Going to put a warm hand on it. So we've got a good surface to stick from there. Pulling down and round. And from here, up and across. So let's not worry too much that we haven't got the white stuff here. That's what I meant. It doesn't matter that this is not on the skin. It's more important that it gives you a good surface to stick on. Okay, going to do another one of those. Starting there again, just a slightly different point underneath. This is a good hand hold here, so using it, this is called the thenar eminence, holding onto there and pulling up and across. Up and across and round. Wherever it finishes is good. So I can't move that ankle into inversion, and that's perfect. What you want to do is put a little bit of weight on it, make sure that the foot can spread very slightly. And another thing to do is just sort of cup it in some warm hands there. It just helps to melt the tape just a little bit, melt the glue on the tape just a little, to allow it to stick properly, as that's what you want. Now, this can be kept on for a week. Even through some sweaty rugby games and training and things like that. Some people's skin's going to be better than others to hold it on. Some people's skin's a bit more oily. But if you've taped it well, that tape should be able to stay on. So it can stay on through a shower, through swimming. It actually solidifies the tape onto the skin just a little bit more. If you have any allergies to it, or if it starts itching at all, then take it off straight away. There's nothing like having a sprained ankle and also some very irritated skin as well. That will just send you over the edge, I'm sure. So if it irritates at all, take it straight off, but it can stay on for 7 days. If you've got the facility, like I'm teaching you now, to tape it at home, there's no real need. So take it off as and when you need to and redo it. And hopefully that's going to stop you spraining that ankle again. And after an ankle sprain, getting back into sport, it's going to give you a little bit more support there. Replay it, pause it at any time, practice a couple of times before you go out there, but I hope that is helpful to you.